Y'all, it is March 27th when this episode goes live. And my daughter is turning 18 tomorrow. Holy wow. I don't even know how to process that. And if you're a mom, I think maybe you're sitting in some of that too. So today's episode is going to be extra special because we're diving into some real talk about motherhood, celebrating, huge milestones. And so grab your cozy blankie and get ready to soak in all of this inspiration and wisdom. I don't know that I have a lot of it, but let's get to it. You are listening to That Big CEO Energy, where we talk all things business, life, marriage, and push you to a new edge of discovering what that big CEO energy means for you. Listen, I understand that we have barriers that we carry from when we were once employees, and those have impacted us as we continue to build our businesses. I'm here to walk alongside you and give you encouragement through interviews with friends and other women in business who have broken down those barriers and paved their own way. Tune in with me as we uncover some of the unconscious things that we do that keep us from building that big CEO energy we've always dreamed about. Let's dive in. All right, friends. Let's just kick things off with a big cheer. Right? To all the moms who have made it to their kids turning 18. Holy moly. But you are rocking it out every single day. You are the absolute superhero. And I want you to know that if you are in the season where you are raising babies and you are raising kids and toddlers and teens and tweens and all the things, you are seen and you are appreciated. This episode is just one that honestly, I don't even know where to begin. My kid turns 18 tomorrow, and if you don't have a child that is 18, and maybe your children are over 18, if you have children that aren't quite 18, you probably are going, man, that is a long ways from now. I'm not sure I'm going to make it. You will. I promise. Sleep does come soon. If you have multiple kids, sleep happens when the youngest moves out. But if you are a mom that has older kids past 18, that is a journey, One of the things that I really talk openly about is my journey as a single mom. And I'm not going to lament on that because there's plenty of episodes that talk about that. But I think one of the things that makes my relationship with my daughter so incredibly special is that she is, and always has been, one of just the best kids. Even when I brought her home, like when I got pregnant, I was really, really scared. Really scared. Because I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't really know her dad. We had been together for 4 months, for Pete's sake. So I just was like, I don't know. And, of course, when you get pregnant, you don't know what they're going to be. A boy, a girl, you don't know any of that. And so in my heart of hearts, I knew it was a girl, but I wasn't quite sure. And so, of course you got to wait for the ultrasound and you got to do all the stuff and things. But when I went and actually found out that it was a girl, I thought, oh, I'm good. I am relieved because I can handle girls. Or so I thought. And when she was born, she was like the best baby. And I tell everybody this, and I've told her this really since the day she was born, is she was the best baby. She slept through the night the day I brought her home, from like 7 to 7. That was her routine. I could put her down at 7 p.m. She would sleep till 7 a.m. And I would have to wake her up in the middle of the night to like eat. And even then it was like, just give me a few things and let me go back to sleep. And she didn't wake up famished, and it was lovely. She also was super easy to potty train. She was the best at, she was on a bottle, obviously. And literally, like the day she turned a year old, I remember her coming up to me and handing me her bottle and saying, "All done, big girl cup." And she didn't want a sippy cup. She wanted the cups that everybody else was drinking out of. And that's how she celebrated her birthday, was drinking out of a big girl cup. So she really, honestly, for me, was just kind of, I'm going to exceed all expectations and I'm going to do it all. And her life isn't perfect. My life wasn't perfect. And I made a ton of mistakes, just like a human being would, just like a mom would. And as she's turning 18, I just find myself reflecting on the incredible human that she has become. One of the things that I really love about her is her zest for life and wanting to be creative. Almost every year since she was little, we have bought her artist supplies. She's an incredible drawer. Matter of fact, as I'm recording this episode, she is actually creating her own graduation announcement to send out for her graduation party. That is just how she is. But one of the things that I really love too is when she cried out for help in 8th grade and really understood that in her crying out for help, her hope was that I would answer the call. And she did that through writing a paper. And I'm only sharing this because she has been really open about it and actually wrote her college essay on it. And so I know that that's a story that she will approve me to tell. So when she was in 8th grade, she was in English class and she wrote a paper that was really alarming, and it was a cry for help. And I remember getting the phone call from the teacher, and she said, "We have a crisis, and I don't know if you know, but your daughter needs intervention. And I'm going to connect you with someone that, provides resources and does all the stuff." And so I got her in therapy immediately. And since 8th grade, when she was very angry. She was angry at life. She was angry at her dad. She was angry at me. She just could not get herself out of a rut of feeling like the whole world was stacked against her. And so I took action immediately. I got her into therapy. We started working diligently together. And I also recognized the need for my own therapy journey. And when we started going, and we go to the same therapist still to this day, we love her. When we started going separately to therapy, and we've done a few sessions together, but mostly separately, I really understood the hurt. I really understood the pain from her perspective, from the walk that she was doing in her own life. And she started to understand some of the dynamics that would come into play. Dynamics with her dad, the relationship that she has with him, the relationship that she has with me, and all of it just became kind of a part where we had to bear it all. She had to know all the things. She was ready to know all the things. One thing that I will share about her is she is well beyond her years. So while she is 18, she really has a frame of mind as an adult woman who can have very intelligent conversations, can really unpack. And when she started to do that in her therapy walk, it was like I saw a very different side of her. Now, don't get me wrong. She still is a teenager, right? She still does teenager things. We have had an abundance of trials and tribulations while our walk of being a teenager is happening. You know, she's not perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody is perfect. But it is this bittersweet moment of watching your baby grow into this strong, independent adult. And, you know, Chris and I have 3 children together. His 2 are also young adults. One is going to be 21, which is weird in and of its own right to even say out loud. He's going to be 21 in March, and then my lovely bonus daughter, she is going to be 18 this October. So we are really in the thick of it with teens and young adults. But one thing that I'll say is I was a single mom for most of Daniela's life. I have been married 3 times. Now that is working on healing, that is taking accountability. And so in all of that time, though, I still honestly was a single mom, whether I was with somebody and she was a single child. I never had any other living children outside of her. And so it really is bittersweet for me because all of the things that she is going on now in her senior year, in her development, while we have these other 2 amazing children that we try to help support and guide and shape, for me personally, my responsibility for 18 years has been for this one human. And we have grown apart in some areas. We have grown together in so many different areas. And it's really been healing for me to watch her transform and really take on this accountability piece of knowing that her mental health is something that needs to be nurtured. And one thing that I've learned on this whole entire journey of this 18 years is really the importance of being resilient, of being flexible, of knowing when you have to sacrifice your thoughts and what you think to know to be true as a parent to reparent yourself in order so that your child can be more in which you were as a child. I think sometimes it's hard for some parents to not parent in such a way that we think that our kids should be doing exactly what we think, right? We have a path for them in mind. We often have hopes and dreams for them that sometimes they don't want for themselves. And who are we as stewards of their life to force that? And I think that's something that I had to learn and reparent is I couldn't be a strong arm in her life. I had to let her figure it out. And I had to take a back seat, but also take a back seat in mindful direction that I am here to be an accountability person for her. I am here to be sometimes a disciplinary and teach her why and how that is not right, whatever it is, but also encourage her to make mistakes, encourage her to learn for herself, because that, in the middle of all of that, is where she finds herself, where she finds her guiding light, where I find myself as a mother parenting differently. It's not becoming a friend, right? It's more becoming an advocate for their life and helping them to understand. We get really good at telling our kids what we think they should be doing and telling them what not to do. But what I would say is we have an opportunity to rewrite a different story and give them a safe space to learn, to grow, to make mistakes. And then our job is to encourage them on how to think differently. Now, make no mistake, I've only learned this since she was in 8th grade. I used to be a yeller. I used to scream. I used to shame her. I used to be angry. I was angry myself. And I didn't know how to regulate my own emotions enough to help her regulate her own. And it's only been through my own therapy journey to be able to audibly say this to you right now, because I didn't understand how I could even come up with that concept or what that even looked like. Because that's not something that I grew up with either. And so what I would love to share and love to say to my daughter, if she ever listens to this, I don't even know if she listens to my podcast, is that while I have made grave mistakes, I also know that those have given her a stepping stone on learning how, A, not to parent, B, how to live life with reconciliation and love and encouragement, and then C, how to move yourself into a new parallel and move yourself into an area that really encourages self-development all of the time. I think if nothing else, if she walks away from this household when she is ready to leave, if she walks away with self-determination and walks away with self-appreciation and walks away with tools on how to self-regulate and be in the world and not of the world, I think I've done what I can do. I have stewarded her enough to be a guiding light that she gets it. So to my daughter and to all the young women out there stepping into adulthood, here's what I hope for you. And maybe you are not just 18, maybe you are in your mid-20s. And I would go back and listen to the episode that I had with Emily Milling. But first and foremost, I hope you always believe in yourself. I hope you know that you, and this is not just a cliche thing, that you are literally able to achieve anything that you set your mind to. And do not let anyone tell you otherwise. Trust your instincts, follow your gut, and never be afraid to take risks. Secondly, I hope that you prioritize your mental and emotional well-being. Life can be really overwhelming at times, but it's important to prioritize your mental health and seek support when you need it. Surround yourself with people who lift you up and inspire you to be the best version of yourself. And finally, I hope you never lose sight of your worth. You are, just as you are, loved. You deserve respect. You deserve happiness in all areas of your life, and never settle for anything less than you deserve. And if you don't know what you deserve, go and seek help to find out what that is. And always remember, you are capable of creating the life of your dreams. I hope that my daughter can be an inspiration for all of those who are struggling. And know that when you reach out and when you cry for help to the most appropriate person who you feel safe with, they hear you, they see you, and they will find a way for you. I want to leave you with this. Being a single mom is just not about surviving. It's about thriving. It's about embracing your big CEO energy of your life and showing the world what you're made of. As a mom, keep chasing your dreams and keep showing up for your daughters, and never forget how truly amazing you are. Thanks for tuning into the show today. If you heard something that helped you, I would love it if you would leave a review and share it with your friends. This helps more people just like you become inspired to move the needle of their big CEO energy into a positive direction. If you would like to learn more about how I can help you streamline and position your business for growth or lead your business as a CEO, feel free to jump into the show notes with all of the links to find me. And don't forget to head over to Instagram so we can be pals.